Hey, good afternoon, everyone. It's Captain Chandler with your police department. I'm here with Rich, and we just wanted to come live to you this afternoon because we do have severe weather forecasted for this afternoon and into the evening. And we haven't had severe weather in a while, nor have we had rain in a while. So we just want to get severe weather back on everyone's mind. It occurs in the spring, it occurs in the fall, and anytime you have drastic temperature changes and such, you can see this severe weather. And we have a cold front moving through, which could bring storms this evening. And let's look at it. So we are in a slight risk for severe weather. You see the little blue arrow. That's where Mount Juliet is at, just on the east side of Nashville. And our timing for the storms is about 4 o'clock up to 7 o'clock. If you look now on the radar, you can see it is just to our west, and it should be hitting Davidson County within the next hour or so. And then eventually after Davidson, it will be in our area. And the Weather Service is telling us to expect some damaging winds, some hail possibly. They can't rule out a tornado, but again, it's not, I guess, the forecast is to be that high of a tornado risk, but we always want to get it on everyone's mind just in case one pops up. You want to know where your safe place is to go. Just like our March 2020 tornado, it was essentially a low risk forecasted for that, and it ended up dropping a severe tornado through our community. So we want you all just to be weather aware into the afternoon and evening. Definitely don't be scared, and the best way to limit your anxiety is to have a plan, right? And I have Rich here. Rich is going to talk a little bit about a plan on the differences of tornado warnings and watches and what to do if we do have a warning issued. So, Rich, what you got?
Yeah, so the easiest way to know the difference, folks, between tornado watches and warnings, even with severe thunderstorm watches and warnings, kind of the same thing applies to severe thunderstorms. Basically, it means that conditions are favorable for the development of the thunderstorms producing the tornadoes. Um, Basically, just stay informed, whether it's to TV, radio, Facebook, whatever your most likely media outlet is. Have that handy and available. Also, get signed up for our text alert program, the MJ Alert program. We blast those text alerts out as we get those notifications from the Weather Service. So be prepared and be ready to take action, because if those warnings come out, that means that those thunderstorms that are capable of producing the tornadoes are imminent. It means they're very close, and you need to take shelter immediately. Don't wait. If it gets upgraded to a warning, that means it's coming. Warning doesn't mean it's going to happen, but it means the conditions are in the utmost favorable conditions. So that means that they are very close. So you need to take shelter in a interior room or a basement or wherever you can get that's farthest away from the windows as possible and close to the center of your building or your house as you can get. And moving along to the sheltering guidelines to give you some better ideas. Of course, the best option is always if you can get into a approved storm shelter. But in lieu of that, mobile homes and vehicles underneath highways and overpasses, not the greatest ideas. But if that's all you've got, make the best of it. If you're going to be in a mobile home, get out of the mobile home. Best option if you're going to be in a mobile home is get out. Try and lay flat on the ground. Get into a ditch or a culvert if you can. A little bit better manufactured housing than a mobile home. Same thing though, because they're not super sturdy. If you can get into the interior room of that, large gymnasiums and things of the sort, because they're not very sturdy, big metal buildings, not a great idea. But better options, interior room of a well-constructed home or building, just like your house. Think of your house or whatever building you're in as an onion. If you start peeling those layers away, the farther into the center you can get is the better. So if you've got a closet under your stairwell, an interior bathroom, get into the tub, cover up with some towels, or get a bicycle helmet, something like that to protect your head in case debris starts flying. And of course, that best option that I already mentioned, of course, if you can get a tornado shelter ahead of time, and always stay in place until you hear that all clear, whether it's via our text alerts or when you get that all clear from your local media, whatever way you can get that all clear signal, stay in shelter until you get that all clear.
Yeah, Rich, at my place,
where to go. And you'll see on this
sorry, Rich, at my place, I don't have a tornado approved shelter, FEMA approved shelter, but I do have a basement. So that's where I go. My safe place is I go in the basement, and then I have a closet that backs up to the underground section of that basement. And that's where I hang out when severe storms come through. When we had the March 2020 tornado, that's where I was hanging out, listening to our police radio systems, monitoring the National Weather Service chat on my laptop, trying to get updates and give those out to the officers in the field. But we don't all have those tornado shelters. The majority of us don't. And I think in Mount Juliet, there's not a lot of basements either. So most folks probably go to that interior room on the lowest floor. With most of the home construction that I see across our community.
Yeah, really good point. And like in the case of my house, for example, as well, we don't have a basement, we don't have a shelter, so we got into the interior closet, myself, my dad, and my dog, and grabbed my police radio, and was able to see right before the tornado came by. Was still able to watch Channel 5 News till the power went out.
I got you.
So we were keeping up on our local media, and power went out, and we still had the police radio and the weather radio in there with us. Those weather radios are great, folks. If you can get a NOAA weather radio, they're battery powered when the power goes out, and they are a great resource to have on hand.
For sure.
And looking at this graphic, to give you an example, if you look at, like, for example, these lower interior rooms are the best places to get. And of course, the closer to the center you can get in the center of the house is your ideal place you can get.
Right. Absolutely. And today's one of those days, right, Rich, before the storms move through within an hour or two, is ensure that NOAA weather radio is plugged up and turned on. Ensure that your phones are charged, right? Ensure that you have that way to be connected to your reliable weather warning source. So if there is a warning that spikes, you do get that alert. So you do take proper precautions to keep you and your family safe.
Yeah, 100%. And Miss Haley there put a question in the comment section about what if you live in an apartment. Great question. Get into a stairwell down on the lower level of the stairwell, because those stairwells very often in the apartment complexes are some of the more sturdier areas of the apartment complexes.
Right. And some are open air. You don't want to get into those, but definitely your interior room away from windows of your apartments. Good deal. Do we have anything about weather warning sources, Rich, on your other slides?
Oh, sure do.
Yeah.
Sorry, forgot about that. Yeah, so weather warning sources, folks. Of course, your cell phones always have the wireless emergency alerts. That's your best one to get, because as those warnings come out, your wireless emergency alert system, if you haven't turned them off, those will all automatically hit your phone based on your zip codes where you're at. So even when you're traveling, if we have travelers and visitors coming through, you should still get those wireless emergency alerts. Various weather apps or whatever you like, whether it's the NOAA apps, weather.gov, the Weather Channel, whatever weather apps you like. There's the weather.gov app that I mentioned. Of course, your text and messaging services, our MJ Alert service that we have, subscribe to it. It's real simple. Your social media outlets, various outlets from Twitter to Facebook to whatever you choose. And of course, your family and friends. Keep up with your family and friends too. Some of them may live in other parts of towns that have already experienced what was coming towards you. So if you can get text messages through to them and find out what they saw coming and be prepared based on what they experienced. And also remember too, your cell phones may or may not work during an emergency, but sometimes SMS or text messages can get through where cell phone calls may not be able to process.
Right. Yeah, absolutely. And Rich, while I talk about this, can you just get radar pulled up? But our text alerts, Rich mentioned it earlier. It's super great for us to be able just to send a text message to our community to keep you informed about whatever situation we may have going on in the community that we want to let you know immediately. And we use our MJ Alert system to do that. It also goes to Twitter as well. But the best way to get information from your police department, from your city, about anything happening that could be of a danger is to sign up for this. All you have to do is text the letters MJ, this phone number, 67283, and you are registered. It'll send you a confirmation message that you're registered. And if we have an event, we will immediately start communicating over that to keep you aware about what we are doing as a city, as a police department, as a fire department, to respond to whatever incident that is happening and at hand in the community. And again, we're coming to you live just to get you all back weather aware for this fall severe weather season that is back upon us today. We're certainly not doing this to scare anyone and to limit any type of anxiety. It's just truly have a plan. Know where you're going to go, know how you're going to get your warnings, and just know that your police department, fire department, city, we're all here for you. If something does happen, we're going to be right there in the thick of it, just like we have been with all the other natural disasters that we've had in our community. And we're going to do whatever we can to help you should you need it. And Rich has radar pulled up now for us, and you can see it's, I guess, approaching what is that? The Tennessee River, Rich, that runs down through there, and
Yep, yeah, it's going from Clarksville all the way down to Benton County through the Tennessee River there.
Yeah, gotcha. So, and we may have some storms ahead of that popping up too. But hey, just be weather aware, right, Rich?
Absolutely.
We'll take any questions that you have. If you have something, just type it in the comments. Rich and I are here for a little bit. We'll be glad to get to those if we can. Of course, we see all the supportive comments. We got Brenda here, thankful and grateful for the one-on-one interactions with the community. She doesn't know of any other police department that talks the talk and walks the walk as far as demonstrating their commitment and care of the citizens. We appreciate you. So Brenda, very, very kind. We appreciate that. Shannon says just severe, not tornado, right? Well, Shannon, they can't rule out a tornado for that. And the messaging today is still leaves that, T word in it. And you just can never roll that out with the type of systems that are coming through. But it's not a major tornado threat. But again, something could happen just like it happened during March 2020 when we had the large tornado go through town. Rich, and I'm trying to reflect back, but it wasn't a high risk that night when we had that March 2020 tornado, correct? It was actually a low risk.
Yeah, we were under low risk.
Similar to what it is now. So you can't always go off of that. Our weather forecasters do their best, but the weather is a lot of science and changes, and we truly appreciate all that our weather service professionals do for us. They really truly try to get us the best information as possible, and then they're quick on those alerts as well to get the community informed. But they can only do so much. They can't prepare your safe place. They can't ensure that your weather warning source is attached to you. They can only send out that information. It's up to us as individuals to ensure that our family is safe, that we have a safe place to go, and that we truly listen to the warnings that do come out and take them as real. Sometimes folks take chances, and those chances could lead to an emergency situation for them that they probably don't want to be in. But I'll be out. Rich, are you going to be out as well as this moves through?
Sure will. Be back out this evening, checking it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So in the shelter list, Rich, so Smart 911, it can take those shelter list, which is also through our RAVE system. So if you just Google Smart 911, you can register your profile to place that shelter listing, which also gives information to Wilson County 911 and us should we need it. But you can also email Rich. And Rich, I'll just put your email in the comments if you want to register your shelter. Always kind of good to know where those are at. Put out, I got a question here about MJ Alert. And so, Donald, to register for MJ Alert here on the screen for you at the bottom, text MJ to 67283. You just go to your phone, get ready to send a text message in the phone number section, type in 67283, and then in the message that you're going to send, type the letters MJ, press send. Then you will eventually get a confirmation message that says you are registered for our alerts. All right. Well, folks, just stay weather aware this evening. Looks like we may have some thunderstorms within an hour or two. And again, we just want to get your mind on weather awareness as we do have severe weather approaching and forecasted this evening. Stay safe. Should anything start to happen, we'll keep you informed through MJ Alert. Take care, everyone.